Hello, good morning. So we are actually going to work in VS Code today, and there's an issue. Well, there's always been an issue with VS Code and collaboration, and the reason is this stuff. So when we use something called operational transforms for collaboration. And they are really, really nice. Like there are other solutions like CRDTs, but operational transforms is something we did in version 1. They're very minimal, straightforward, not easy to understand, but much easier to understand than CRDTs, arguably. And CRDTs has some overhead, even though they're like more powerful and stuff like that. And the thing about operational transforms is that they need a source of truth on the server, which is exactly what we have no matter, while CRDTs doesn't need that. No matter, one aspect of operational transforms is that on the client side, incoming operations has to be applied synchronously to the document. So that when you make a change, we know that whatever operation has been passed to the client has been applied. So it's not like you receive an operation to the client, it's being applied to the document, and then you make a change in between. Then it fails. And that's exactly what's happening in VS Code, because when you want to apply something, that is asynchronous. And that's a huge problem. Because what happens in practice is that if you type at the same time between VS Code and another VS Code or the browser editor, is that these operations that happens are being applied asynchronously while the other person is typing, they're swallowed, like they just disappear. It's very disruptive. And I've been reflecting on this, and we have to find a way to make this work. So one idea I have is to simulate latency in the network, so that while you're typing in VS Code, we do not send any messages, or like we kind of make the clients have super high latency. So it basically doesn't send any operations out, and it doesn't handle any operations coming in either. They're kind of queued until you stop typing. And then we send the current operation out, we apply any incoming operations, and they're being applied to the document. So that would make it better. But there are two problems. One problem is that the collaboration has latency in itself. So like when you collaborate with someone on VS Code, you won't have like instant updates. And also, it's not guaranteed that when we do like a debounce on typing, and after that debounce is gone, we ship operations out and we handle any incoming operations. Like you might, at that specific time, you might start typing again. And then we're back with the same problem. So it's not like a full fix, and it's rather complicated. So I was thinking maybe there's another way we can do this. But to explore that, we have to understand better what exactly is happening here. So we are going to, and the problem is that we can't test this in a good way, because we have to understand exactly what VS Code does, and it's very, very tricky to understand that. So we're going to remove some stuff here, and we're going to just do this applying. We're just going to log out so that we understand exactly what happens. So applying, and what we're going to do, we're going to give this picture doc OT client document. So this is what the operational transform client thinks thinks is the truth of the document now. And then we're going to look at what does VS Code currently have. So we're going to do that when we apply. And we're also going to check after apply. Because I don't know, I know this is async, but does the change event of the document happen synchronously? So basically, does it happen before this line or does it happen after this line? Because that also might be async. I don't know. So that means here we get the text changes from VS Code. So we're going to basically just look at this, creating, maybe that's a good way. And then we'll say event document. And this is where we just, yeah. So we're going to build this and we're going to run and debug it. And we're going to, I'm going to use my laptop because that's the other thing. Like we have to test this in practice. So I have my other computer here. Let's see. Where did I? Oh, of course, it's in the browser. So where is the thing? Here it is. Okay, so I'm working with this. Oh, I have to sign in. Where did you go? Hello. Oh, sometimes this. Oh, wait a minute. This is what happened now? Is this the extension? Oh, sorry. Oh, this is the extension. Run and debug. This was the window I was going to work with. Let's see. Oh, did I? Let's see, CodeSandbox applications, and it's called a blah blah test. Well named test branch. Okay, so we have some, okay, so we need to remove everything here. Let's just save it. And then we're going to clear this and let's see what happens here. So I'm going to type very fast. So now I lost a letter here. I was typing OP on VS Code and HE on my MacBook, and it saw it swallowed the H, and I wonder where did it get swallowed. So I'm first creating O. Interesting, I'm creating O again. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I'm creating O. Yeah, so to add complexity to VS Code, it also emits events that doesn't have any changes. But it has the indication if the document is dirty or not. So this is basically the change. This is the event that just says that it's dirty. And then we have OP. And now we're getting... Oh, this is interesting. So the H didn't even get in here. That's interesting. Okay, let's try again. And I wonder if it's because it's the same line. That's also a thing. Like if you type on the same line, there's also a selection that happens that makes you replace the character. So, okay, so. Oh, there you saw it. the age was lost. Where was it lost? Here it's lost. God damn it! I have to have a better example. Let's see. Let's try again. Ideally, this should happen on the first one. Hello, Dan. This is the reason I don't have that much time on Overmind. I'm working on a bug in VS Code. So the thing is, like, I'm wondering, am I actually hitting the character, or is it? Yeah, it's the VS Code extension, and I'm testing. It's very tricky to do collaboration in VS Code due to VS Code asynchronously applying operations, because the way that we use operational transforms, which requires operations to be applied synchronously to the document so that everything happens in order, like user changes and incoming changes happens in order. But of course, VS Code has this async behavior, and we are basically still trying to find the best strategy to deal with this. And we've had a strategy now where we try to be very correct about identifying certain scenarios and stuff, but I'm trying to find a much simpler way, because yeah, just find a more simpler approach that also just works. Okay, so here we see, oh, I even got an error. Interesting. So I created O, we got the dirty event. I created OP, applying OP age. Yeah, so this is coming from the other person where we only have OP, and that resulted in OPH, OPH, and then yeah, here you see it. So we're applying an incoming operation. It triggers a change. Oh, this is really good. So we are applying the age, and when that happens, we trigger, VS Code triggers an event that results in the same, and then after applying, we have the same result. But where the hell did this come from? Why are you saying that? Where did that error come from? Okay, but at least we know confidently that I'm confused by this. Why did that result in an error? But at least we know that the event I'm just typing this in. The change event will trigger before this finishes. Why did it say that? Received invalid operation? E. OT received invalid operation. Okay, we need to log some more. And we're going to type on the same line instead, because it's a little bit confusing how I'm creating. But where the hell did that error come from? There's no... It's not being caught anywhere. It's just coming internally from the OT library. What the fudge? Try... Because I'm catching here when I'm... Did I save? Oh, I saved. That's the problem. Oh, that's interesting. I think it happened here. So I saved and then... Yeah. And I think that added... Wait a minute, this is weird. This is like... This is what makes it so incredibly confusing. Like, it's so hard to reason about what's happening, because there's so much in play here. We have the web editor, we have picture dealing with operations, we have file system changes which results in operations, and we have the async applying of operations in VS Code. Like, it's incredibly difficult to... And you could argue that we should really just create a test environment that simulates all the asynchronicity in play here. And I really should do that, but I have no motivation to do it because I feel like I have to understand it first. Really understand it. I feel like I'm so close to finding a solution all the time. And of course, every time I find a solution, it doesn't actually fix it. So... what did I want to do now? I need to know... Okay, let's... Okay, so this might be... Yeah, so we're going to change this. So I did a test here where we're just creating a diff, but now we're actually going to handle the operation. Yes. And then I need to... So what I was hoping to identify is that when I make a change as a user, we would have the change of the... So we would have a creating that contained the change from... yeah, like we would have an applying. Well, I guess that's exactly what's happening here. So we have a creating. Well, no, that's the thing. It's not happening. I was hoping that we would have an applying, and then we had a creating that contained a user change. But that's not the case here. We still got this error, but I think that's related to the diffing thing I did. So let's make this a bit more correct, and then let's try again. So I'm going to hit space here, but oops. But this one, yeah, that's space again. Okay. Okay, so this one. Ah, something happened there, but I didn't catch it. God damn it. Okay, let's try again. So a couple of spaces. Okay. Okay, so this. There it happened. I wonder if. God damn it! There's so much text there I can't. And I don't know if I actually. It happened so fast. Oh, here we go. Here we're getting. Why are we getting those errors? That's really, really weird. So what if I just type it? Hi. This works just fine. And when I say hi, hope do the. Now I'm typing on the other computer, so that works just fine. That doesn't create any inconsistencies. But as soon as I oh, yeah, here we see it. Here we see it. So I'm creating O. Oh yeah, here we see it. So I'm creating O. Yes, and we're applying an H. You see this? We're applying, yes, we're identifying it finally. So I did type H. And we're trying to apply that, but then yes, exactly. This is exactly what I thought happened. So here we're applying an age. So in the picture document, it thinks that it's O. It thinks it's OH. What's this O here? Applying. Ah, god damn it. Is this, why is H first? I don't understand that. It's supposed to be later. Oh wait, is this the picture document? Ah, god damn it. I need better. Okay, I think actually the separator is here. So the picture yeah, exactly. So I'm creating O. The picture document is empty, and then I'm applying O in the VS Code doc. I should have separated this with a comma, but anyways. And then we get an incoming operation. So the picture document says we have an O, and now we also have an age here. But the VS Code document still says that we only have an O. And then we create a new operation. We apply the P. So the VS Code document says that we have OP because we haven't gotten the age in there yet. But the picture document states that it's that. And then and then we just make yeah, exactly. Yeah, the picture version of the doc is the one in front there. So my theory is that what we could try is that we identify if the created operation is actually added on top of what's in the picture document. But we could also fix this with the check I already had. And that is that because what happens after this is that after apply, now we're applying a new one. So what we can do is that whenever we're applying something, we stop creating, if that makes sense. We stop creating, and rather after we're done applying, we create an operation. So what we did previously, so there's a lot of history here. Previously, we actually produced operations out of the change event. But the tricky thing there is that we also get change events for incoming operations that shouldn't produce new operations. So we had checks for identifying, are they the same, blah, blah, blah. But what we can rather do is that we can just create, where is it? Oh, this was incoming. What we can rather do is just create a diff. So we don't care about events or anything. We just care about the VS Code document has changed, and we need to create a diff operation. So that's what we're doing here. But we shouldn't create this diff operation when we this create diff operation. We should not do it when we are applying an incoming operation, because that's when we lose stuff. Private create diff operation. Now, and the thing is, you can argue that this is event document get text. I think we can just say this does VS Code doc get text. Text. Yeah, and let's add this thing. What was I talking about? Yeah, that this is very inefficient to create this diff, and it is compared to transforming the event. But if you think about us running, now we're running our dev process and everything in the VM. It's not running locally on your machine, so you have to use your machine for something. So why not just use it for collaboration to create these diff operations? So in like a 2,000 line document, this will be quite heavy. But typically you don't write code in those kinds of documents. And we can also debounce it and a lot of stuff if it's an actual problem. But what I'm going to try now, I'm going to reintroduce this flag. Private is applying operation, which is false. And then we're just going to say true, and then false. And then we're actually going to create a diff here. We're going to say this dot, what are we going to create diff operation? And the reason we do that is that the thing is that you might not end up with any operation actually, because the VS Code document might now actually be the same as the picture document. And then there's no operation created, which is great. And we can actually check that as well. And then let's keep the after apply. Let's just do this and let's do this, just so we still have that stuff. And then we're going to create if operation, and we're going to check if text equals this picture, picture OT client document, then we don't do anything. Or if operation is no op, we return. We don't do anything. So we added a lot of, as I said, you can see there's a lot of logic. I removed a ton of logic related to dealing with these operations, and doing this diffing makes it so much simpler. And at the same time, incoming apply opera. I think we can just say this is applying. So this makes it so much simpler, and we can remove every piece of async logic in the OT library, because that's also a thing we did. We extended the functionality of operational transforms to deal with async code editors, and arguably we shouldn't do that as part of operational transforms, because they are fundamentally need to be synchronous. It should rather be something we handle in the specific async code editor like VS Code. Yeah, anyways, let's see what happens now. Debug console. Can I have the debug console and the terminal open at the same time? Can I do something? But that would mean two terminals. I don't want two terminals. This is really annoying. Okay, so let's remove everything. Couple of spaces here. Oh, it failed immediately. Yeah, I wonder why it fails. So I'm applying, the H came in first. But I'm so happy that I've never felt more clarity on what actually happens until now, which is nice. Like, it's taken so many iterations to handle this, and I could go into like how VS Code reads from the file system and stuff like that, which just adds a ton more complexity, but I won't do that now. So the picture document states that we have an H, and then we go in and we create an O. And then it's done applying the O, and this is interesting. So I'm applying an H. In the meantime, I'm producing an O. And after we have applied the H, it's now yeah, I think that's because of the recovery logic. Because we also have recovery logic, and we need that because we are reconnecting and stuff. So here we are actually passing in the text of VS Code. Let's see, creating. Here we're passing in the text of VS Code. And this only has an O. God damn it. Why does that only have an O? Did VS Code? Because this is what I'm wondering as well. So what can happen here is that when we're trying to apply this age and we produce that O, that age edit for VS Code is not really, well, it is correct. Like it should be added. Why isn't it there? What we could do here is that we could actually, we could also store what document we're actually applying to. So in this case, we would state that the document we're applying to is like just has a couple of spaces. So that when we get to creating, we could check, is this O we're adding here? Is that applied? Yeah, how would we do that? What the hell is happening here? Is VS Code just completely ignoring the applied edit? Because it's here after apply. There is no H there. But, oh, wait a minute. I know what's weird here. What I don't understand is, oh, did I forget to add? No. Yes, this is what I don't understand. Why did it say creating here? Because we're in the middle of applying. So there should not be any, oh, god damn it, I forgot to remove it. If he's applying operation. Sorry, I forgot to do that. My bad. Okay. Oh, it failed. Ah, god damn it, it went too far. Okay, let's just reset it. Oh, look at this. Like, it's so weird. Suddenly it just completely breaks. How could this happen? So we are creating. Okay, so the document, the picture document is up, hehehe. And then we're adding up, O. And then we're creating up. And then we're applying the yes. So this makes sense to me. No, it doesn't. So this shouldn't happen. Because now we are the picture document up. And then we're adding the age. Oh, wait a minute. So this is the picture document. This is VS Code. And these are the same now. And then I'm trying to apply. What am I trying to actually apply there? And what actually errored? Doesn't match the length of the code. So I guess this is the thing. I wonder what actually failed. Doesn't match the length. Is this one that failed? Ah, this one failed. Okay. So the reason this one failed is because we're sending in. Yeah, we can't send in. This is interesting. So what I think happened here is that this is interesting. So we got an incoming operation that applied this age. But what I don't understand is, okay, so we have applying. Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, I should do applying before this. But what I think happened here is that this operation because here we're just saying that okay, whatever, the operation is applied to this document, the actual picture document. But here we give the VS Code document, which is wrong now. It has a different length, and it has a different length. That's what I don't quite understand here. Why does it have a different length? Yeah, maybe we would have seen it. Yeah, sorry. We have to try to reproduce this. This is so weird and difficult. Let's see. Oh, yeah, something. God damn it, I didn't see it. there it went wrong. We swallowed something. So we are creating op, and we have op. Yes, we added the O, and we are applying the. Let me just check. Yeah, we're missing an H here. So I created an O, and then I applied. The H has been applied here. And then after apply, we have the H here in the. Yeah, this is so weird. You see this? We're applying. We have the H in the picture document. We don't have it in VS Code yet. And after apply, we still don't have it in the VS Code document, but we have it in the picture document. So when I'm now creating a new operation, the H just isn't there. So this also shows us something else. Like VS Code just completely swallows changes. And the question is then, what did it actually try to produce? We're going to log one more thing. We're going to log applying, and we're going to see what kind of edit did it actually apply. And we're going to say picture. I'm still confused by VS Code. Oops. Could I do? Oh, wait, oh, God damn it. Let's try without it. Terminal. But yeah, I'm so happy I added this diffing thing because it makes it so much easier to debug the issues. Okay. There we go. It swallowed it. Let's take a look. Oh, what did I do? Okay, so we have creating, adding the O, receiving the H. It's the exact same thing. And what we would expect here is that we actually have an edit here that tries to apply that H. That's the big question. Yes, and we do. Yeah, VS Code just completely consumes it. So we are actually applying. Yeah, this is very fascinating. So we are obviously adding the H here. But after the apply, the VS Code doc doesn't have that H. And is it correct, like the range? That can also be a thing. Like it's just producing the wrong. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Start. Character 15. Isn't that a bit weird? That it says that it's... Because it's not like 15, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That is very interesting. I want to log one more thing. I want to log the actual operation that was applied. Because that could also be it. Like there's a bug in the apply operation to model. Did I build it? Yeah, we don't really need this one. Nice, that's nice. Okay, let's try again. Remove that. Okay. Oh, nice. That was an early one. Okay, so we are creating OPHE. We're creating the O. We're receiving the H. And then after the apply, we don't have the H there. So VS Code try to insert the H on 7. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, the operation, yeah, it's also 7. But that's curious to me. Why is it 7? So, yeah, let's see. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that makes sense. That's where it was applied. Yeah, it's already applied to the document on position 7. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's it. Yeah, okay, sorry. So the problem is that we have this O suddenly in here. Oh, this is very interesting. Oh, I think I see the problem. So the problem here is that when the operation was applied, or when the operation was received, it says that it inserted it on 7, but it didn't. I wonder what the document looked like before we applied it. Because then it means that the operational transform actually did something to it. Okay, we're going to log one more thing, and that is the pre contents. Pre how we keep all the applications in sync across both docs. You generally mean like when we code, how we... Oh yeah, it's called operational transforms. It's developed by Google. If you remember Google Wave, that was a very early collaborative platform. And I believe Google Docs actually uses operational transforms now. And yeah, it's like very simple implementation. It's not that many lines of code, but it has some requirements in terms of order and a source of truth. But yeah, I would just search for operational transforms. Let's see, pre-picture content. So we're applying... Okay, I guess we'll add pre-picture content. Okay, hopefully this isn't confusing. I might even have found a bug in our operational transforms, which is very interesting. Let's see. Let's go in and there we go. Let's clean this. Doop. So okay, let's do it again. Oops. Oh. Let's see. So this was the other problem. But maybe it can help us. So we are creating upu, up, and then we are getting the... So the picture document has the up, and it's adding an age. And it's adding it to the actual correct document. And then we're applying... Yeah, and then, of course, VS Code doesn't have it. And then we're applying again. So what I think happens here is that we're applying too fast. So this is one thing we have to fix. It's this promise here. We need to actually make that a thing. So private apply operation promise would be promise.resolve. And then the reason is that we're applying too fast. We have to wait. So the way we can deal with that is just saying const or this. Okay, Boolean. I guess this is like if it worked or not. So we have a huge problem if like applying fails, but dennable. Why do they have to build so much new dennable? Okay. Where did we go? Where did we go? Oh, handle incoming. Okay, so we are... So we have to... Is apply... Okay, so before we apply, we have to await this apply operation promise. So we cannot apply any operation until we have applied the last one. We cannot apply new operations until applied the last. Now the thing is that this might like already be like completely out of whack. So for example, applying and by the way, like multiple changes in the same doc, it's like it's also based on revision. So like every client is working on a revision, and then they send their change on their current revision to the server, and then the server is able to give an operation or transform that operation so it always fits with the history. So it kind of puts it in at the point where the client thought the revision was, and then it transforms all operations up to the current point, and then it sends to the other clients an update operation so that they are in tune with the new history of the operations. It's really cool how it works. But yeah, the interesting thing here is when to wait for this. I think this is the spot where it should really be. Oh no, it should be before we actually... Yeah, I'm not sure if this is also a problem. Like if the operations comes in too fast and we start awaiting them to be applied, you might make a change in the meantime, which also will break. Because this operation is tied to a very specific version of the document. Yeah, like this kind of shows that it will never work. God damn it. Because what this shows is that, okay, we can't just apply operations because the VS Code document can't keep up to date with the picture document. And if we start waiting for VS Code to update, you might have typed something in between there. Which is why I'm more confident that we should use diffing than yeah, we have to use diffing. Like that's the only safe way to do this. Okay, I'm going to try something. Create operation, diff operation. Okay, so we're going to try something. And I need a way to explain this to the others. But this completely breaks collab. Because in between... I need an example to explain to the others. Because while we are waiting for the VS Code doc to update, you might have already made a local change which makes this operation invalid. And then you could argue, no, we shouldn't go and grab the operation until we are ready to apply it. But what would that mean? Would that work if we just wait? If I rely on diffing, Okay, so the problem is if I were to use diffing, we can get into a situation where, well, I would say that I'm applying the operation. So any changes I make, okay, I think it could work. Because if I just do, okay, so this would be the opposite. We would say this.vscodedoc get text. So we would comment this out. Let's keep this. Okay, applying. We don't care about pre-picture content. Okay, let's try this. Oh, god damn it. But I'm curious if I'm able to reproduce the... Well, I guess I'm more curious if this introduces new issues. I guess that's more interesting. But it really shouldn't work. Like operational transforms, the picture document is the source of truth, but that's not the case for VS Code. For VS Code, the source of truth is the actual VS Code document, but it's but I just have this feeling that we can create a simple solution that makes this work like 99.99999% of the time. What the fuck happened now? Let's open it again. And that's good enough. Like typically when you work with VS Code, you work alone anyways. Fail to fetch repositories for... Okay, that's not good. Why did that fail? It's breaking my flow. Oh. Breaking my flow. Okay. Blah blah tests. This is also a problem. Like if I make a change before... before it's connected, we don't get the change. Yeah, VS Code is given a lot of headache. Why isn't anything working? What's happening? The collaboration isn't working at all now. What did I do? No errors or anything? It's as if it's oh, wait a minute. What the hell? We have to await it again. Yeah. I wonder what happened here. It basically just stopped working. What the fuck? It stopped working. And there's nothing in the logs? It's as if it's just stopping here. But what the fuck? What did I do? Oh, I have a meeting. When's that? Oh, it was removed? Okay. I really wonder what's happening here. But I'm not getting any new operations. What did I do? Oh. Oh yeah, that doesn't matter. What did I do? Why is it just stopping? Oh, sorry. I know why it's stopping. We still have to go and grab the... We still have to say that the operation was handled. But I guess this also points to the problem again. Like now we're saying that we're just resolving the operation. But yeah, that's okay, because that's basically what we want to do. If this works, we want to remove that async stuff inside operational transform. So it would basically be added immediately. So this would need to work anyways. Okay, so there we go. Oops. Yeah. There we got the issue immediately. So they're definitely not fixing anything. So I'm creating up here, and it's up. Yeah, I'm adding Oppo, and then we're applying Oppo the H. VS Code doesn't have it. And after apply, okay, so after we apply it, the picture document still has it, but VS Code doesn't. Oh, because I added a P there. Yeah, like this won't work. Like, it's impossible to make this work. We would have to block changes by the user while we are applying. It's almost like, oh wait, what we could do is, what if we don't? Oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is interesting. So what if we don't apply any incoming operations to the VS Code document? We just debounce, we just flush. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, I have an idea. We are going to, oh, this would be so nice. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're creating a diff operation, handle text document change. And then we would say this flush or sync document. That's all we do. Sync document. And all we do when we receive operations is that we just apply them. That's the only thing we do. We don't care. We just apply it. And then we say this sync document. And when we sync the document, we just create a diff operation and we apply it. So create diff sync document. So this would be, well, I guess, yeah, we would need to use the, no, nothing of this. We just have sync document, the bouncer would be new debouncer. So we have our own debouncer. So let's say 500 milliseconds. I think this should just be 0. And then the callback would be us just doing this. This dot debounce So when we have an incoming operation, we debounce. When we update the document, we debounce a sync. So the point is that as soon as we stop typing for 500 milliseconds, we'll just go in there. And and this is the tricky part, right? Because what does that mean, 500 milliseconds pausing in coding? Does that mean like how much time does I guess the number we're after is like how much time does it take for VS Code to apply the actual operation, the sync operation? And it would be, I tracked this before, it's like VS Code can use like over 100 milliseconds to just apply and edit. It's very like all over the place. So there's like no guarantee for this at all, but we can try 500 milliseconds and see what happens. Because the point now is that we are in the background, we are producing the correct document. That's the point. We're producing the correct document, and the browser editor will see the changes live. But VS Code won't see the changes from the browser until they stop typing. And then you can argue, is that good enough? But yeah, and we should log when we actually do that sync. Sync. Okay, this is going to be very interesting because it's a very different approach. But this is what I mean. I think we have to be very pragmatic about this. We shouldn't try to make something that's not built for asynchronous stuff work asynchronously. We have to find a radical different approach. And this is definitely thinking out of the box. So so I'm very curious if this is going to actually work. Okay, so let's do the space and okay, definitely it didn't work. God damn it. Why didn't it work? Okay, it failed all. Okay, I have to do this without so much. Oops. Where the hell did it go? There you are. Okay, so that was a sync. So let's just do it like not. Okay. Sync op creating op yeah, so OPO. Yeah, like one thing that we have to be careful with is like when you collaborate, you don't type the same place. So that's why I'm creating those spaces, is to simulate better that you're typing in different places. Because you like that just you can just imagine like typing at the same spot, it would just you will not get the expected result no matter how you solve it. So let's create those two spaces, and then we'll okay, so I'm creating an O. I'm creating an OP. And now I'm syncing OP. Why was the age? Oh, of course. Sorry. Of course, we have to use the old. Oh, fuck. No, of course this won't work. Of course this won't work because we're not producing the operations we pass over the wire. Of course this won't work. They need to be based on the picture document, and they aren't. Like, they're based on VS Code. So what we would have to, like, we can still make this work, but we have to debounce the whole freaking thing. But this won't work. Like, it's also ties into if we sync and we base it on diffing, we don't know if that diff is removal or adding code. So for example, if this just won't work. God damn it. Because if we've like, so the question is, okay, so we debounce a sync and then we sync. So I removed something in the browser and then we sync VS Code first because we want to make sure that the changes from the VS Code is actually taken care of. But it's not like, okay, so what we can do. No, I think the idea I had about latency is really the only way to go. But how can I test that? Because the OT is in a different. No, wait, I can test that. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to try something very different again. I think I'm going to revert everything. And then we're just going to, as long as I'm typing, we're going to prevent any messages from being sent. Yeah. Let's see. How do we do this? So terminal. And then we have picture client in here. So picture, yeah, it's in the other. Oh, let's close you down. Do I have picture client here? CodeSandbox applications. Yeah, here's picture client, and then we can take a look at file document. So here we have the two things. Like, so this is sending a document operation. So this is where we would like wait. How do we handle incoming document selection? Document, here we have it. So this is operations coming in, and this is operations being sent out. So what we want to do, we want to add, so we need to be smart about this. So basically what we want to do, we have a debouncer in VS Code. And basically what we need to do is like, it would be ideal if we just had a promise, so we need this queue thing. I really want it to be a promise, so we're just going to add a few methods here. So let's call it like a private block promise. It's promise.resolve. Block promise, and then we're going to say, we're just going to create a method here called block. And that returns the possibility to unblock. So that means this dot, yeah, so first of all, we're going to have a resolve here, and then we're going to create this dot block promise equals new promise, where we say resolver unblock. So unblock equals resolve. Oh, but never used. Is that the thing? Yeah. Well, it's not. God damn it. Yeah, let's just do this. Is that the syntax? There we go. Just so TypeScript is happy. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to say block, and then we have this promise that can be, yeah, so when we unblock, we are basically going to resolve that promise. And then we are going to say this.block. Well, we don't actually have to do that. Okay, and then we're unblocking it, and then we're adding a new promise. Yes. So when we send an operation, we're going to await this. The good thing about promises is, like, this is a really nice way of doing queuing, because like the engine, like JavaScript itself, just queues these things with the event loop. And then we have on notification. We're going to do the same thing. Await this block promise. So this will also be async. And there's already like an operation queue here. I'm not really sure what that is, because server operation should be added, but the notifications are coming in order, so I don't understand, like, yeah, I'm not sure what help that operation queue is, but yeah, let's just keep it for now. Okay, so now we have the possibility to block. So what we're going to do, we're going to add another terminal here. We're going to picture client. Oh, pm build. And then we're going to move back into the thingy. And then we have all our beautiful logic where we are now going to say, well, we're going to have this debouncer again. Block debouncer, new debouncer. And when that hits, we're, what the hell? Oh, didn't I add it? There we go. This pitch. Do I have access to picture here? Oh, of course. Oh, well, this would of course be unblock. Oh yeah. Should I keep that internally? Okay. Unblocker. Let's just simplify this. Block debouncer. So handle. Yeah, there's so much logic. So let's just keep this, processing the change event and everything. But when we get a document change, we're just going to say this picture, this dot blocker, unblocker, picture doc block. This isn't good. Now we're creating a new promise every time. Fuck. Okay. If no this unblocker, do this, and then we'll remove the unblocker on the debounce. I just need to test this. Cool. Okay. So let's try this. Oops, pm build. I need some food soon. the logic I just wrote should really be in picture client. You should be able to call block as many times as you want, and unblock as many times as you want. But yeah, let's see how it behaves now. Now the good thing about this is that we're adhering to operational transforms. We're just simulating a latency in the network, which is exactly what operational transforms is built for. So that's great. Okay, now something's wrong. Oh yeah, I know what's wrong. It's because we are block. We are also, we should only block when it's not when it's an actual change. Pending. Pending change. Yeah. Pending change, is that god damn it, I can't remember it. That's a bad name. Is it incoming change? Okay, let's just do this when we actually send it. So this will be applied to client. That's where we want to do it. Oh, fuck! What did I? Oh god damn! No. It only happened here, right? Did I lose this one as well? No, that's still there. No, I lost this one as well. Okay. Ah, that's that's classic me. Okay, it didn't work. Oh, I didn't call the debouncer. Block. Oh. Okay, let's try again. I like being naive though. Like, it's a really good way to learn. So someone who's much smarter than me would probably say this is never going to work. But I've learned a ton trying to figure this out. Let's see. Yeah, this didn't work. I failed immediately. Why did that fail? Did I do this correctly? So we blocked it. I don't quite understand this. That should have worked. I'm just blocking sending messages as if they are delayed. And they should have the same order, because I'm just awaiting the promise. Huh, I wonder what happened there. Okay, I'm starting to get... Okay, we just have to log sending the messages. Where is it? Picture client. No, what? Such a hassle connecting and everything. Oh, I forgot. I'm very discouraged. I'm very discouraged. Okay, receiving up. Oh, well. now it's working. Okay, so I think maybe it wasn't updated or something. Oh, this is actually working. Okay, so if we do the same test, yeah, now it's added after it. So the problem still is that I might type something exactly when the debounce is over. And we have pending operations. But I think yeah. That's very unlikely to happen. Let's try changing the debouncer a little bit. Oops. So if we say 250 milliseconds, so I'm going to like try to like on and off kind of do the thing. And then I'm going to, if that works, I'm going to eat lunch and think about how to best implement this. And then basically what this means is that we can, I think we can remove all the async stuff. So the way we handle async code editors is that we just halt the network whenever that async editor is editing. And it could even be, you know what, we could even build it into Picture Client. So we would rather give an option to Picture Client that the editor is async, and then we would just handle all this internally. Yeah, anyways, lunch thoughts. So, okay, so let's do the same kind of change. You see that? We're getting all the changes. It's just a little bit debounce on it. And if I type like really fast, we don't get these updates until later. Oh! Okay, that failed magically. What actually happened? Not magically, but okay, so we're getting a bunch of errors. Okay, well, this is interesting because this is exactly what's been happening. I wonder what happened there. So the point is that I typed really fast, so it started queuing up. Well, actually, in terms of sending operations, it didn't actually, like, it just kept composing. So I think this is actually the recovery, and well, the recovery is what caused a really weird duplication thing. But I wonder why we even had an error in the first place. Because I was just making local changes. Oh, wait, I know why. It's because we're just awaiting the sending. But we can't, yeah. Okay, I know what's wrong. It's because we're just awaiting the sending, but we have to make sure the order is correct. So if we just await the sending, we might treat an incoming operation before we get response on the thing we sent. But I really like where this is going. I think this is the solution. The debounce. Yeah, so I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat and think about this, and then we're going to implement in Picture Client. Do we even have options for Picture Client now? We're going to implement an async code editor option for Picture Client. Picture Client ops. Yeah, connection, subscription. Yeah. We're going to add an option, and then we're going to make sure that when we try to send an operation and we have an async editor, we're going to debounce that, and then we're going to queue up everything. Yeah, it's quite interesting how we're going to do that. But wait, what does that mean? Like, yeah, of course, because I'm simulating latency. So we have to tie. But what does that actually mean? What does it mean when I simulate latency? Does it mean that that I should receive all incoming operations first? I think maybe that's what it means. Because you can, or does it mean that does it mean I have to, what should I be able to, no, because I started halting the network when I sent a message. So I have to get a response on that message before I can get any incoming operations. But what's funny is that all these incoming operations, they are wrong. Fuck. They are not based on... Yeah, wait, this is not going to work. I can't just halt the network like that. Because the problem is that the operations waiting for me, they have not been... Well, I'm trying to reason about how it works. So if I send an operation on revision 1, but the server is on revision 2, it will change the document history so that it will be this. Yeah, but then I can't. But what does that mean for me? Like, when does the revision 2 operation arrive? Do I get... operational transform. It's so difficult. Like, what the fuck? Like, there's a... So I'm sending revision 1, and the server has gotten revision 2, and it needs to have tried to send that to me on my socket. But since... okay, we just have to try. We have to try to apply the incoming operations before we send the outgoing operation and see what happens. I'm just... Well, let's test this very, very quickly. I'm very curious how this works. So what we're going to do, we're basically not going to send any operations. So we're just going to return here. Well, we're going to have an eternal promise. Return new promise. Okay, it never resolves, and then we're going to build that. And then we're going to produce some incoming operations, and we're going to type something in both places, and then we're only going to get like the incoming operations, and then we're going to see what happens. PMPM. Let's see. Okay, receiving up, and let's now like do the thing where we type really, really fast. Yeah, exactly. So all the incoming operations are applied correctly. Okay, cool. That's what we're gonna do. I'll be back shortly. I'm pumped. I think we cracked it. How did I do this? There we go. Hello. Let's. Suddenly the music was working again, which is funny. Yeah. Okay. So let's try implementing this thing. So we are going to add a new option to picture. Deals with async. Simulates network latency as async editors. Simulates network latency during typing as async editors cannot reliably handle operations. Well, yeah, simulates network latency during typing. Well, async code editors cannot handle operations reliably. To alleviate the problem, we simulate network latency when user is typing. This ensures no operations are sent or received when typing, and yeah. Rather reconciling when not typing. There is still a risk the user starts typing during reconciliation, but we have recovery for that, which causes minimal damage. Okay. Async code editor is a boolean. Yes, I reflected a bit. So what we can do to make it even better is that when we receive operations during the debounce period, we can put it into an array. Or how should we do that? What I'm thinking is that we don't really have to apply individual operations when they're queued up like that. We can compose them together, so it's like one operation that's being applied. But still, the internal OT client needs to handle one operation at a time. So I'm not quite sure if that makes sense. Yeah, we shouldn't add that. Let's just do what we intended to do. So async code editor, that's a new thing. And by default, how do we do this? Put your client. How do I? Yeah, so we do this async code editor. Where are the? I'm confused by the code. There we are. Options. We just say this options or? Okay. Well, maybe it should be is async code editor is false. And then we say this dot, oops, well, boolean. And then we're going to, when we create the file client, yeah, let's fs workspace path is async code editor. This is async code editor. Oh, cool. And then we'll change that to be some options instead. Ah, isn't that typical? Now we have to duplicate. Anyways. Let's just add it. Oh, maybe we don't need a message handler. So message handler is okay, I guess. Oh no, we need this dot message handler. Okay, so what the hell? This dot fs equals fs this dot workspace path, and this dot is async editor is async editor. Okay, and basically I guess this is when we create a file. Yeah. This is async code editor. So when we create a file, is async code editor boolean. Could that be a private thing? Yeah, no, we just have to pass it into the document. Oh. I think we should pass it in, because it's not really related to the file, it's related to the document. So, there we go. Now we're here with our code, yeah. Okay. So we need a debouncer. Yeah, so the one thing we didn't handle now is that we didn't unblock the we did not unblock the incoming operations before we sent the outgoing operation. So we need to we could have two blocking promises. We could have block incoming operations promise, and then we'll just resolve that before. before blocking the outgoing. Yeah, should we do that? Incoming operations blocking promise. Outgoing operation blocking promise. And then cannot fix the async behavior of VS Code. We have to, the strategy has to be avoiding it happening. Cannot fix the I am implementing a new option for picture now with is async editor, which automatically debounces sending operations and in the meantime blocks incoming operations. This worked really well. Still a risk that user starts typing exactly after debounds and applying any incoming, but things should be way better. And we can remove all async logic from OT client. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just writing on Slack. Okay, so we have incoming operation blocking promise, outgoing operation blocking promise. What we basically need to do now is Like we could create a small abstraction for this because we need 2 of them. And I know we've done this before. It should maybe be part of the common library, but blocking promise. It's quite nice actually. Unblock. So we have a promise here, which is like promise void. Well, it can just be promise resolve. So that's the thing you await. And then when we block, we say that yeah, it needs a private is blocking. If is blocking, we just return. If not is blocking, we just return. And then if we want to block, we just say resolver, which is just a function. Yeah, so this is a icky part. It's like you have this dangling resolver. Which I don't really like that much, but yeah, but it doesn't really matter. So this is void, or it can be undefined. So we would say this, we basically just create a new, well, this dot promise will be the new promise, and resolve will be this dot resolver is resolve. And then when we unblock it, we just say resolver, and we have to do it like this. And then this is blocking true. That's basically it. So you have a blocking promise that you can just add yeah, and again, it's just a very efficient way to deal with queues. So when we resolve this one first, we know that all of them will be handled. Well, we don't actually. Do we? Because well, in this scenario we do. They're all just waiting. Yeah, that should work. Yeah, so we just say where are the thingies? So this is incoming operation blocking promise. And then we would do the same on sending, but only outgoing operation blocking promise. Cool. And we could like do a check here, is it an async editor and blah blah blah, but if it's not an async editor, it will never be blocked, so we're just waiting a tick before sending it, and that doesn't matter. it's all async anyways. So what we rather want to do is that when we apply to the client, if this is async, oh, well, we can do Boolean since we always get it. Okay, so is async called? Sorry, we want. Yeah, we need the debouncer as well. Yeah, so we have, let's see. Yeah, I was just explaining, I need to copy this text. Like, it's very hard to talk about this stuff as well, because you need so much context to understand why it goes wrong. So what do we want to happen here? So when it's the async code editor, we want to, yeah, we just want to incoming, we want to block this, and we want to outgoing, we want to block, and then we want to unblock debouncer, debounce. So we want to run the debouncer. It really depends on how many. Because the editor lives next. Wait. Yeah, that's interesting because we oh, I didn't run these tests locally. But yeah, everything we can do to avoid applying incoming operations while the user is typing. That confident about. I did reflect on a solution where we identify if the change event I did reflect on a solution where we identify if the change event was not applied to a valid picture document. We could if we identify that, we could ignore the event because another event will soon arrive representing the incoming operation, and then we would do diff instead of creating an operation out of the change event. That could also work, but detecting this confidently is tricky, I think. And also with this, the solution here, it will just work out of the box with any other async editors. I'd love to look through. Well, we identify if the change event was not applied to a valid picture. This, yeah, attach file edit listener. This is where they publish. Co-editor IDs by file. Blah, 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 content changes. Edit timeout. Though they are not applying operation. They are just using Let's see. Yves is laughing. Just send simple. What's it called? Change. Oh. They built an. Yeah, that's funny. We're looking at the code for the live collaboration for VS Code, and they are actually doing exactly the same thing conceptually. They are delaying sending updates while you're typing. Okay. For every user, they create a file, edit data based on the changes. Yeah, new file, edit data, content changes. In an activity, yeah, they put it in an activity, update activities. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. We're going to, sorry, private unblock operations debouncer, new debouncer. Let's do 250, 0, and this dot incoming. Yes, now we have to do the right thing here. We have to say this incoming unblock. We have to unblock incoming first. And when we resolve that, like all the code, everything following that should just run. Like all, yeah. Outgoing unblock. As that simulates incoming operations during sending on operation. When their edits are flashed. Oh, interesting. Like now suddenly my audio is completely messed up. It's weird why that happens on Mac. Let's see. Okay, so we have we are now blocking with a debounce. We'll debounce that. But we still need to, we still need to apply it. We just block sending it. Okay, so this should really be the thing. So let's build it and let's add that new. Would be interesting to do the same crazy typing test with live share. Oh, did I do something wrong? Oh, it's in false. False. I think I need a frozen pizza today. Let's build. Oh, it's pretty rough at home these days. Like it's like you get surprised. Like you're so not prepared for having kids, and it's just these faces. Like oh my, there's the like you would imagine like just waking up in the morning would be like, hey, we're waking up. We're a family. It's nice to see each other. Let's have breakfast. And like, no, it's like the youngest just yells, cries like, mommy, daddy. And then we wake up and one of us has to get out of bed to get him. And then our oldest gets annoyed by this. And then we want them to put on their clothes before we go downstairs, or like everything just goes to shit. And then he doesn't want to do that. And then our oldest does something and it's like complaining about something. And then it's like, there's so many not nice moments. And it surprises me. Like, well, it doesn't like, surprise is the wrong term. It's just exhausting. That's it. Like I know they are still very young. Controlling emotions is like, even as an adult, it's hard to do. But there's just so much of it. It's so intense. Let's see. Here we have that thing. Where's the... Oh yeah, I'm not debugging right now. Okay, so now we have our... So we need to find picture. Where do we instantiate picture? Async. Oh, that's funny. Why doesn't it? Oh yeah. Very hard to read. Oh. Yeah, so they convert VS Code content change to collab change. What's a collab change? Wow, that's get line buffer position. Yeah, I guess that's just a different kind of position. Let's see. Continue. in web. Oh, that's cool. Continuous anonymous. Guest user. Yeah, we're just playing around with VS Code collab. Waiting for host. Dun, 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 dun. I really want to buy that. Oh, there we go. I'm read only. Make me. What was I doing? Ugh, do I have to sign in? Okay, let's try again. Sign in with GitHub. Allow. It's pretty rock solid. Yeah, it was pretty solid. I guess it saw a couple of like when he was typing, but it always like resulted in the correct document. Where were we? Oh yeah. Is async call editor true? Okay, so let's build this and let's try it. But that, like, it's freaking Microsoft. They probably have resync document host. Open text. Get shared file client. Get shared file client. Get buffer manager status. Remove line endings. Right, retry. Yeah. It seems they do a sync. They are not applying operations. Seem to build a single resync. Based on these change buffers. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, we need to test our solution. Did I build it? Yeah, let's run it. What the hell? What the hell? Run. Okay. Weird. Resync document. So they're resyncing, they're building a they are validating the range. What the hell is that? Yeah, collab buffer text. They're doing a replace. We're not doing a replace, we're doing an edit, aren't we? What the hell happened here? Oh. Oh, yeah, we need to remove all this stuff. Okay, we need to build again. Where was the workspace edit? Handle text. Oh, handle text document. Wait a minute. Here it is. Edit. We're doing apply. Yeah, they're doing a replace. We do a set. Maybe they are handled differently. What's so a set is set and replace text that is for resource. If we do replace the given range with given text for the given resource. Because the range is also just blah. Code is smarter somehow here. Yeah, it's interesting. They do a replace. And they just have a What's T here? Yeah, and they validate the range. On the open text document. So that would mean this.vs code doc. We can try this later. What the hell that means. Okay, I'm just talking with Evis a second.